Hey, what's up, man?
Morning, good sir.
What do you got there? A banana flavored?
It's actually lemonade, and there's a new one out today. I forget what it's even called. I can't keep up anymore. I just can't keep up anymore. Just
Hey,
just
is
send
that
them.
one? Is
Huh?
that one good?
Yeah, it tastes like lemonade. Look at.
All right. I can't see. I'll take your word for it.
Tasty. What's up, man?
Life's good, man.
Is it?
It is. It is. Let's tell you what's really up. Guys, you're watching the Crucible, by the way. My name's
Hi,
Emil.
Paul. Hi. How are you?
How do you do? We a couple weeks ago, let's see, last week we were talking about that
Yeah,
submarine, the yellow submarine.
submarine. Yes,
Yep.
yes, still
Being
available.
re-released.
Legal
Yep.
store. Didn't he get much feedback on it? So
No.
maybe I have to blast Instagram and see what they got to say.
Yeah. Week before that, we had a very not heated, a very relevant discussion about what the new presidency could mean for precious metals.
Yes.
And really, as of 2 weeks ago, when we first talked about it, it was a huge coin toss. Like we
Yeah.
didn't know, like, is it going to
Yeah.
go up? Is it going to go down? Tariffs, what does that mean to us? And
And we still really don't know. We still really don't know what that's going to mean to us because latest and greatest, what I hear on my local radio station is there's been a pullback kind of agreement for a month via
yeah, everything's
Mexico,
kind
and
of
the
on
same
hold.
thing with Canada. I
Hmm.
think they wanted some Mexican soldiers to help out at the border, and I think that's a pretty good, give and take type thing. Like they should be helping, I would have to say, but
Yeah.
you know,
And from what I've seen, and I just saw this today. And again, you got to take what you hear with a grain of salt.
yes,
Who knows, like really what's happening? But from what I've seen, like I sent you that image that said that China and Hong Kong, all packages are suspended coming from
yes.
those countries right
Did you see
now
that
through
update?
USPS. So I did see that. But then I also saw one other thing that because of this whole back and forth tariff drama with Canada. Canada is now open to discussions on a free trade agreement with China. So they have their own little backdoor
Huh?
channel that they're now going to be tapping into. And will that have implications to the precious metals market? Really, that's the conversation here. Not as to whether or not, it's good or bad or whatever. It's just what are the effects going to be for metals?
And I've seen a lot of things on, well, different spats back and forth on Instagram as far as stop fear mongering. They're talking about bigger bullion dealers, talking about stop fear mongering. I don't know if you've noticed, or maybe you've just deleted your emails, sign up sheets with JM Bullion, with all of them. And I'm not picking on JM Bullion, but that's just the first one that comes to mind is, excuse me, when stuff like this happens, they sure do want to pump you some deals, right? Quote
Of
unquote
course.
deals. And they, some of the biggest, boldest letters in the emails are tariffs. Tariffs are coming. Tariffs are coming. We don't know what's going to happen. We really don't. Is it going to affect anything here in the US? Well, let's just think about that for a second. If it's a 25% tariff on a Canadian maple leaf or gold maple leaf, anything like that coming out of Canada, right?
All right.
Or, for instance, Mexico with their Libertads. What is that going to do to our silver here? What's it going to
Yeah.
do to the American Silver Eagle? Is that going to be cheap bullion at that point in time, or are they just going to say, okay, this is what they're paying for this stuff, this is how much of it's coming into the country,
Right.
why don't we charge that? If they're going to pay that for this, why don't we charge that?
Yep.
Here we
And
are.
it will likely get factored into the premium at some point if it hasn't already been. But to the point of JM Bullion and AppMex and whoever else is sending those blast emails, I get it.
Yeah,
You got to
business.
capitalize. You're a business. That makes
Yes.
sense. But
Yeah, that's why I said I wasn't picking on anybody. It's just their name came up.
yeah, and in effect, by doing that, doesn't that in and of itself drive the market, drive more purchases, therefore driving the price up. Because I guess the concept here is the markets are shaky. We saw that for the past few days. Right now, I think today was a little bullish. Today is the 5th, February 5th. So it was a little bullish today. We saw
Yeah.
some minor rises and things like that. But it's just because people are waiting to see what's actually going to happen to the tariffs and what other countries are going to do, et cetera. Um, but I think overall, investors are recognizing that maybe it's time to start pulling out of speculative markets and
Mhm.
start putting things into harder assets, things that typically do well in times like this, uncertainty.
You
right?
can see that hardcore with cryptocurrencies right now. Bitcoin was at one point almost 109,000. I believe it's under, or at least it almost at the point. I don't know what it's at now, but like 95,000. Like
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
It's crazy. It's crazy how fast you can see negative. Like
Yep.
it's insane.
Yeah.
Very, very,
Bitcoin's
and everything
96.
follows. All them other meme BS coins, it all follows Bitcoin. And if that drops, that other stuff is dropping out of sight. I mean, we talked about the guy that got robbed, his own coin that he had made last week. I think we touched on it briefly. I mean, that's down to under 7 cents now. And at one
Mhm.
point it was up to 43 cents and he was worth millions of dollars at that point in time. And then poof, it's all gone just like that. Just like he said,
Yeah.
it's fairy dust. And that's what he called the stuff. So
Well, yeah. So people are moving their money around quick,
lots of movement.
and they're going to what they've seen as a solid bet, which is gold. But let's I'm gonna open up Kitco. Let's look at silver real quick. And then we'll jump over to gold. So here you can see for those of you who like the charts,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is silver. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 1 day. So you can see kind of like throughout the day, the price peaked. What was the peak? I got like 32 and some change, 32.32 for today. And I think it peaked at like 32.40. That's actually, I mean,
Well,
we've
dude,
seen,
2 weeks ago, it was $30.07. That was 2 weeks ago that we were kind of touching on precious metals prices and the what could happen type thing.
yep. So that would have been right around here. And yeah,
Yeah.
we can see it's gone up quite a bit. This is on the 1 month. We can look at the 3 month. It had a nice little spike here. This would have been late December, mid to late December. And then 6 month. See, we're still well below the 6 months. 6 months ago, or I guess
Does
it would
it
have been.
show us like a percentage gain within a year? Does it show that percentage? Because I thought I read somewhere silver within the past year, silver's up 45% over a 12-month period.
I don't know. It might be on here.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
seeing
right.
it. Yeah, but I mean, if you look at from a year ago, we were looking at 23. So we went from 23 to 32. So
Gotcha.
that's not bad, man. That's not bad.
No. In a year's time on an
Yeah,
investment, I mean,
$9.
yeah,
That's not bad. So if you have 1,000 ounces, what we just made like $9,000, something like that. So pretty stinking awesome. So that's again, that's silver.
yep.
Let's switch over to me and that. I'm gonna switch over to gold real quick. We'll take a look at that. And yeah, so here's the gold spot price today, or at the moment. Again, this is the 5th, and we're looking at 28.69. The peak today, the high was 28.68. So you're talking 30.
What's that? 28.69.30 to the left. Oh, that's bid price. Okay.
Yeah, that's current.
Okay.
Right, but we're looking at the high, which is right here, 28.68. No,
Okay.
wait, that doesn't sound right.
No, that doesn't sound right because your high right now is
Yeah, it's higher than that.
28.69.50. Or
What would that?
there's 28.68.50.
28.70 and some change. It looks like was the high.
Yeah, yeah.
So stinking awesome. I mean, you're talking $30 shy of 2,900. I mean, if the trends continue, we're probably going to see what 29. No, we're going to see like 3,000 by the end of the month if the trend continues.
If the trend continues, and again, 2 weeks ago, 26.95. 2 weeks ago, 26.95. Almost a $200 increase in 2 weeks.
So that would have been right about here-ish.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the beginning of the month. We were looking at 26.40. 3 months ago, we were also around the same 26.40, 26.50.
Yeah.
Yep. 6 months, it was kind of holding. All right. So year to date, 1 year. So a year ago, we were still just over the $2,000 mark.
Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty solid investment.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I think with all things considered, I don't know if you remember, Paul, a few years ago, a lot of people were saying that gold is gone, right? Gold is no longer the investment of the future, that crypto will fully
Sure.
fill all the needs of gold. Nobody needs to hold physical anymore. It's all digital wallets, and of course the gold bugs, the silver bugs, the ones that are steadfast are like, that'll never happen. That's a joke. This is a
Yeah.
fad or whatever. And I think time is showing that in times of uncertainty, regardless of what you think of crypto, and yes, crypto will have some big swings,
Sure.
but regardless of what crypto's doing or what the stock market's doing, gold is still the contrarian market.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean,
still going.
there's really no argument on my end with that. And if there's somebody that can argue that in the comment section, please do so.
And that's the thing, is I think 3 months ago they would have, and maybe 3 months from now they'll come back and find this video and they'll say, "Oh, I told you,
It,
crypto to the moon."
and that could happen tonight. I mean, that could happen at any point in time. Do I see it happening? No, because look what silver and gold continues to do.
Right.
Over the past 2 weeks, and you can go all the way back to the last year, all the way up through the election, everything. It's just, like I said, or like we've talked about, it was holding for quite a while. You didn't see nothing really drop and no huge gains, but now you're seeing those big gains, which is nice, because unlike, I guess I want to say gas prices, you don't see this stuff just drop off the face of the earth, silver and gold. You might see it. You might see silver back at $30 at some time this year. Okay, so what? That's okay. Now it's on sale again. Buy it if you got the money. Buy some, right? But you're not going to see it just drop off the face of the earth. When we get those highs and it stays like that, that is what I like to see, because it's just being consistent. It's not being like a cryptocurrency just out there in the world doing what it wants to do, and you don't know who's controlling it. But when you see it drop, you know who's made money.
So, Paul, I want to ask you your take, or maybe get your thoughts on this scenario. Let's say that people who previously had money in crypto or in the stock market, and they pull their money out, and they say, you know what, I don't want to mess with anything digital anymore. I don't want to mess with paper trades. I want the actual physical. And then they look at something like gold. Do you feel like they would see gold as the barrier to entry in that market being too high?
I think well, again, it's going to go back, I guess, to me for I guess being around for a little while. I guess I can call it not a long time. Is it a FOMO? Is it something that they're going to pull out of the cryptos and just buy gold because it's something they thought they are going to either miss out on? Possibly. Do I think it's too late for them to get involved? I don't think it's ever too late to get involved in gold, because as we've talked about before, there's so many different avenues. Now you're talking about pulling money out. I'm seeing a big number, and what exactly would they be buying as far as that goes? I mean, everybody is completely different. But some, yes, I would say they're probably nervous that, okay, you're hearing a lot of hoopla about all-time highs, all-time highs, all-time highs. So it might veer them away from buying right at this moment. But then they watch it go up even higher and go up even higher. And did I miss a shot again? Did I miss a shot again? That's why consistent buying across the board for anybody, new, old, seasoned, new, however you want to put it, consistent buying across the board is the way to go about precious metals.
Yeah. I guess what I'm asking is the psyche behind it, right? Like you said, there's the feeling of FOMO.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at a 1/10 gold piece, right? Little bitty thing size of a dime, and I can get that for, I don't know, $330, let's say $340. Or I can turn around and get 10 1-ounce buffalo rounds, silver ones. They might see that as like, okay, maybe I do want to get into silver. And I almost feel like,
sure.
Go ahead.
No, you're right. And I see where you're going with it. Yeah, it's I could have 10 of these things over top of one of these tiny little things, and it makes them feel like they have more, even though they have the same amount of value. You just have more of one thing. And it took 10 of those to make this tiny little thing.
Right. Now, do you feel that it would be far-fetched to see silver hit $50 within the next 6 months?
Yes, I would say.
How about
if that happens, if that was to happen, I wouldn't want to know what was going on in the world. What would have to happen in the world for that to happen, right?
Right.
We see the little bit of uncertainty with what is what the administration wants to do with the country. I believe is a great thing, right? Get back, stop depending on our government, get back to the American dream, right?
Hmm.
I believe in that. But obviously, with the uncertainty in the world, you can see that gold and silver is going up. All the other stuff is coming down. I haven't even, I guess, taken a look at a stock market, but what I do know as far as like stock market, like I own some of these mining stocks that I talk about, and those
Hmm.
are doing really, really well. And why? Because they're gold and silver mining stocks. Trump is big on digging, drilling holes, doing this stuff, and that business is going to be booming, whether or not it's the one you're in on or not, but things are going to start happening and very,
Right.
very quickly.
Yeah. And I guess from history, or what history's shown us, is that gold is the more stable of the two metals, silver being way more volatile. Meaning it has much wider swings. It'll go lower, way lower, and it'll go way higher, with relevance to its
It's
starting
easy,
price point.
and maybe because it's easier to get out of silver, it's
Yeah,
easy to
it's
offload a lot
easier
of
to get
silver than
into
it
it
is
too.
to offload a lot of gold.
I think so. So I think what we've seen is we've seen gold do about a 100, or not one, what would it be, like a 50% increase on its value in the past year, roughly. It's just shy of that, right?
Okay.
And I think silver, even though it's approaching that, I feel like it's just about to start running. So like I'm almost hesitant to really sell too much more of any of my silver holdings until I see what silver's about to do. And I think it's whenever it's going to happen. Again, I don't know if it's to the moon or whatever, but I feel like we might see silver hit the $40 mark and above, this year.
Well, and what other savings account did you earn $200 in the last 2 weeks that
None,
you can hold, right?
none,
If
no.
this was $3,000 2 weeks ago at spot price and it's 3,200 today, I mean that's a win
And that's just
in my
one
book,
bar.
and that's just
Yep.
holding it. That's just hanging on to a 100 ounce bar. That's it. That's it. You don't there's no other safer way for me to store value in what we call today currency, right?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
And just that proves it. And
Yeah.
yes, it could drop. Yeah, it could drop. But okay, great. We'll wait again. We'll wait till the next time, right?
Do you see gold going to zero?
Mm-mm.
No, that's laughable, right? Like
It
I
is
feel like
laughable.
that's
I don't even know if that would be possible. Could that even be? I
no.
mean,
There's too much of a use for it.
exactly. It just gets used too much. Same as silver. It's just
Mhm.
used too much in industry, just in general. It's
Right?
just used.
Yeah. And with Elon now having a good position, we'll say, I feel like the EV and robotics industries will increase. AI infrastructure, all of that requires silver. It requires gold diodes and things like that. But
You know what I
I-
think about the EV industry and Trump in general is I think it's almost a good thing to not have all these mandates on the stuff, and possibly these companies can learn to make the stuff cheaper.
mm,
Not make it cheaper, but affordable for the consumer to own and help with what they want to do as
mhm,
far as their greenhouse gases and all this great stuff that's going into our atmosphere. Blah blah blah. Right?
right.
It's I got an email today from a certain car dealership that I deal with, and the the Hummer brand has been bought out by GM. So
I
now
did see that. Yeah.
it's General Motors, Hummer truck, SUV, whatever you want to have. They've got them now, right? $868 a month to lease this thing. That's with top of the line credit, $2,000 down. Dude, make it 350 and let's talk let's talk. Why are these things 110, 120, $140,000? Dude, I paid $60,000 for my first house. And that's probably high to some people. I talked to my dad about this stuff. I think he paid like $17,000 or $18,000 for his first house.
That blows my mind.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane what the cost of this stuff is. And how do you want me to help you? Look at Jerry Maguire. Help me help you. Yeah. Come on. So that's, and I know that's what Elon cares about. Those are his businesses, right? And maybe this next 4 years can be a step back and people can learn more about this stuff and how to produce it so the consumers can actually get out there and help you make it affordable for us to drive this stuff. Because right now, where I sit today, it's not affordable for me to help out one bit.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know how much of the country, but I know there's a lot of people that would believe the same thing I just said.
Yeah.
It's a tough world.
Time will tell.
I mean,
thankfully we got nothing but time. So,
well, yeah. Let's see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think we'll leave it right there.
Yeah. So in the next coming weeks, dude, I'm going to try and get a couple of bullion dealers to actually come on here and get two different companies and talk about their feelings behind these tariffs. And, over the next week and the 2 weeks, more stuff should be coming out, and we'll see, maybe they'll open up their books and show us some numbers and tell us, there's been a drop in the purchase of these because, yes, in fact, they did go up by 25%. Or maybe I'm just not buying them anymore. They're not available here. I can't afford to buy them. So some good questions like that can come up.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get Andy back on too.
Yes. Yes. That was a text message sent out. Hopefully week or two. We'll see.
All right. Cool, man.
All right, dude. Good. All right, everybody. We want to thank you again for joining us, and see you next week, buddy.
Keep stacking.